Service Entrance Riser Cable, commonly referred to as SCR cable, is designed and approved for use primarily in residential applications. Its construction and insulation properties are not suitable for the demands and regulations associated with commercial electrical systems. Specifically, using SCR cable to feed a 200-amp panel in a commercial building from the disconnect is a violation of electrical codes and poses significant safety risks. Firstly, SCR cable is typically rated for lower voltage levels, often around 600 volts, which may be insufficient for some commercial applications. Commercial buildings often employ higher voltage distribution systems such as 480 volts or even medium voltage systems above 600 volts for their main power distribution. This higher voltage demand necessitates cables with appropriate insulation and safety ratings that SCR cable simply does not possess. Secondly, the ampacity or current carrying capacity of SCR cable is limited. A 200-amp panel requires conductors capable of safely handling 200 amps continuously. SCR cable conductors may not be large enough to meet this requirement, leading to overheating, insulation breakdown, and potential fire hazards. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, dictates specific ampacity requirements for conductors based on their size, insulation type, and installation method. Consulting NEC Table 310.15, formerly 310.16, is essential to determine the appropriate conductor size for a given amperage rating and application. For example, copper conductors with THHN insulation, a common type, may require a specific size such as 4/0 American wire gauge or AUG to safely carry 200 amps depending on the temperature rating and other conditions. Aluminum conductors would require an even larger size for the same ampacity. SCR cable often does not offer conductors of sufficient size and insulation type to meet these commercial demands. Thirdly, SCR cable lacks the mechanical protection required for many commercial environments. In commercial settings, electrical cables are often exposed to physical damage from equipment movement, construction activities, or environmental factors. SCR cable's outer jacket is not designed to withstand such abuse. Consequently, conduit, such as rigid metal conduit or RMC, intermediate metal conduit or IMC, or electrical metallic tubing or IMT, is typically required to protect conductors in commercial buildings. These conduits provide a robust physical barrier against damage, ensuring the continued safe operation of the electrical system. Fourthly, SCR cable is generally not plenum rated. Plenums are air handling spaces within a building, such as above suspended ceilings or on raised floors, used for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, or HVAC systems. The electrical cables installed in plenums must be plenum rated, meaning they are designed to minimize smoke and toxic gas emissions in the event of a fire. This requirement is crucial to protect building occupants from smoke inhalation during a fire emergency. Plenum-rated cables use special insulation materials that produce less smoke and fewer toxic substances when burned. SCR cable typically uses standard PVC insulation, which is not plenum-rated and releases harmful fumes when ignited. Using non-plenum-rated cable in a plenum space violates fire safety codes and poses a significant health risk. Fifthly, commercial buildings often have more stringent grounding requirements than residential buildings. Proper grounding is essential to protect against electrical shock hazards and to ensure the correct operation of electrical equipment. Commercial grounding systems typically involve a network of grounding conductors and electrodes designed to provide a low-impedance path for fault currents. SCR cable may not provide an adequate grounding path for commercial applications, potentially compromising the safety and reliability of the electrical system. Grounding requirements are detailed in NEC Article 250, which specifies the size and installation methods for grounding conductors and electrodes. Sixthly, local electrical codes and regulations often prohibit the use of SCR cable in commercial buildings. These codes are designed to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical installations and may vary depending on the jurisdiction. The electrical inspectors have the authority to enforce these codes and can reject installations that do not comply. It is imperative to consult with local electrical authorities and obtain the necessary permits before commencing any electrical work in a commercial building. Seventhly, the specific construction of SCR cable is not suitable for the wiring methods typically employed in commercial settings. Commercial electrical systems often utilize raceways such as conduit and cable trays to organize and protect conductors. SCR cable is not designed for installation in these raceways and may be difficult to pull through conduit or secure in cable trays. Furthermore, the cable's outer jacket may be damaged during installation, compromising its insulation and safety. Eighthly, the longevity and durability of SCR cable may be compromised in commercial environments. Commercial buildings often have harsher operating conditions than residential buildings, including higher temperatures, humidity levels, and exposure to chemicals. These conditions can accelerate the degradation of SCR cable's insulation and jacket, leading to premature failure. Using cables specifically designed for commercial applications ensures a longer service life and reduces the risk of costly repairs and replacements. Ninthly, the use of SCR cable in commercial buildings can void the building's insurance coverage. Insurance companies often require that electrical installations comply with all applicable codes and regulations. If SCR cable is used in violation of these codes, the insurance company may refuse to cover damages resulting from an electrical fire or other incident. This can leave the building owner liable for significant financial losses. Tenthly, the potential for increased liability in the event of an electrical accident is a serious concern. If someone is injured or property is damaged as a result of an electrical fault caused by the improper use of SCR cable, the building owner or contractor may be held liable for negligence. This liability can extend to medical expenses, lost wages, property damage, and even punitive damages. Using approved and appropriately rated cables minimizes the risk of electrical accidents and reduces the potential for liability. In summary, SCR cable should not be used to feed a 200 amp panel in a commercial building from the disconnect. This is due to voltage limitations, ampacity restrictions, lack of mechanical protection, non-plenum rating, stringent grounding requirements, local code prohibitions, unsuitable construction, compromised longevity, potential insurance avoidance, and increased liability risks. Always use appropriate wiring methods and materials that meet the specific requirements of the commercial application. Consult with a qualified electrical engineer or contractor to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations.